Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are, and I hope you're staying safe. In today's video, we will be talking about two USCIS forms that you will typically be attaching to your adjustment of status application, which is Form I-765, which is the Employment Authorization application, and Form I-131, which is the travel permit / advance parole document. These two forms that we will be talking about today are typically going to be attached with your adjustment of status application. I want to encourage you guys to watch the entire video. Even though these two forms in themselves are very short, there's still a lot of information that you should be aware of to make sure that you fill out these forms correctly. Quickly, before I begin, I wanted to direct your guys' attention to the description of this video, where you will find timestamps for specific topics that I will be covering in today's video, and also where I will be linking some immigration attorney channels that I personally find extremely helpful. So please check out those channels to be up to date with the most recent USCIS news. So without further ado, let's get started. So Form I-765, also known as Application for Employment Authorization, is the form that you will fill out to request being able to receive a job in the United States to be able to work legally. Form I-765 is not only available to people who are completing their adjustment of status application, but also to people like international students in financial hardship who would like to accept employment outside of their college campus, and people who are completing their OPT. When it comes to adjustment of status application, though, you will be submitting Form I-765 in order to receive something known as Employment Authorization document prior to you receiving a green card. Typically, because the processing times for adjustment of status application are extremely long, it may be difficult to not be able to work until you receive a green card. In the ideal situation, you will receive your 765 a lot sooner than you would receive your green card. However, considering everything that's been going on with COVID and also the delayed processing times from USCIS, it appears that a lot of people have not been receiving their employment authorization documents. This is very unfortunate, and I'm also one of those people. I have applied for my employment authorization document together with the adjustment of status application, and to this day, I still have not received any news. The current expiration date for Form I-765 is July 31st, 2022. In the current edition date of the form, which you can find at the bottom left corner of the form, is August 25th, 2020. Basically, Form I-765 is pretty short and pretty straightforward. It doesn't ask a lot of questions. However, I do want to point you guys to two sections that might be a little bit confusing. So on the most recent edition for Form I-765, I want to point you guys to question 27, which is asking for your eligibility category under which you would be filing this form. So you can find your eligibility category in the Form 765 instructions. There are so many different eligibility categories. However, if you are applying for employment authorization form together with your adjustment of status application, then your eligibility category will be C9. So another part of the application that I want to direct your guys' attention to is questions 13, 14, and 15. These three questions will be asking whether or not you already have a social security number and whether or not you would want to apply for a social security number using this application. And I highly encourage you guys, if you do not have a social security number yet, to use this application to apply for a social security number. It will actually speed up the process for you a little bit because typically if you opt out from doing it in the application, once you receive your employment authorization, then you will have to go to the Social Security Administration to apply for a social security number, which may make the process a little bit slower for you, and the time will begin ticking once you receive your employment authorization and will only be valid for 1 year. So you would want to have your social security number on hand as soon as possible. Next, Next, let's talk about where to mail your Form I-765. Obviously, if you are submitting it together with your I-485 application, you will be sending it to the same address where you will be sending your entire adjustment of status application. Again, please refer to my previous videos where I talk in way more detail where you will be filing your adjustment of status application based on whether you have filed it with your petition for alien relative or on its own. However, say you were to submit your adjustment of status application and then you wanted to follow up that application with your I-765, don't forget to include your Form I-797C, the notice of action that will state that they have received your 485 for processing in order for the filing fee to be waived. Next, I wanted to talk about whether or not you have to select that you're applying for an initial 765 or a renewal. Say, for example, you have completed an OPT in the United States at some point before and you actually had an employment authorization document. If you are submitting this form as part of your now adjustment of status application, you will have to select question 1A, initial permission to accept employment, because now this is a part of a completely different eligibility category. Then this will be an entirely new employment authorization. Now, let's briefly talk about Form I-131. This one is even shorter than I-765. Form I-131 is also known as Application for Travel Document. If you are currently in the United States and you are submitting this as part of your adjustment of status application, you will be selecting that you are applying for advanced parole. So the importance of this form is to say that you are temporarily planning to travel outside of the United States, but you are not intending to abandon your adjustment of status application. If you leave the United States at any point that your green card application is pending, it will be considered abandonment of your application and you may not be let back into United States. From what I see on Reddit and other forums, people have not been receiving their 765 and 131. There were some people who actually received their employment authorization and travel permit documents a couple of weeks before they actually received their physical green card. So again, keep that in mind. For this form, again, do not forget to include 2 more colored passport style photos of yourself. And this form, just like the employment authorization document, is only valid for 1 year since the day it is issued to you. So I hope that this video cleared up a couple of questions for you guys. Please let me know what you think. In the next few videos, I would like to create step-by-step fill out videos for all of the forms that we have mentioned so far. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are. Continue to stay safe and I will see you in my next videos.